Hello everyone, welcome to Dauntless Tips and Tricks. This video is basically some advice I will try to give, which I learned from my time with Dauntless. So let's get started. The sword is probably the best weapon for beginners. It is the best weapon for learning the basics and mechanics of Dauntless. Following this are both the chain blades and repeaters. Both these weapons are very easy to use, but are a double-edged sword, since you will not be able to develop your basics and mechanics very much. Try out the different weapons first at the training grounds to get a better idea of which weapon you would like to use. Dodging is one of the most important skills to learn in Dauntless. This is especially true later in the game, where behemoths can kill you in one hit. Behemoths usually have a tell or movement that signals an incoming attack, which will tell you when it will attack, and make it possible for you to read the attack and dodge it. If performed successfully, your character will glow bright blue, and there will be a sound that plays to show that you have dodged an attack. Interrupting, or also known as booping, is the action of staggering a behemoth when it is unstable. It is different from the normal way of staggering or stunning a behemoth, where you build up stagger damage. This is done by hitting a behemoth with an attack that can interrupt while behemoths are in an unstable position, which is shown with red lines around the head part of the behemoth. This will knock over the behemoth and let it be open to attacks. Doing events is probably one of the best ways to get materials, cores, and Aether sparks. That is why you should try to do them as much as possible, especially when they appear on your compass. Unlock and upgrade your glider as soon as possible. This will help you traverse the various islands in Dauntless, which can make fighting many different behemoths a faster and easier process. Unlock and craft lanterns and Omnicells as soon as you can, because they can provide a good boost to your combat capabilities. Try to unlock weapon mods and specials as soon as you can, because they can provide a good boost to your combat capabilities. Cells are one of the most important aspects of your build, so you should prioritize in crafting the right cells. These are usually the ones which are more combat-oriented rather than passive stats that don't really provide much benefit to combat, like movement speed, cells, and such. Cell crafting basically goes: two identical cells provide the same cell but a higher level, while two cells of the same type provide a random higher level, same type cell, and two different type cells provide a random higher level cell. For the most effective builds, you should not look at the primary stats of the armor or weapon. Instead, you should look at the perks and cell slots of the equipment, as perks are what makes a build viable. A good rule of thumb when focusing on leveling is for levels 1 to 12 is to do escalation 1 to 13. Then for levels 12 to 15, go to Hades Reach and kill Helions. And then for level 15 to 20, either escalation 10 to 50 or the Paradoxicon event in Paradox Braids. It is better for you to reforge as soon as you can, instead of trying to fill up the sword experience bar, as it is a lot quicker to reach level 6 if you just start from the base level compared to sword experience. You should not waste your Aether sparks. There is an option for you to craft Aetherhearts for 200 Aether sparks, and this is not worth it, as Aether sparks can be pretty hard to acquire. Instead, go for the option of only spending 100 Aether sparks, but you will also need a level 20 weapon for this, or in other words, Reforging, which resets your weapon level to level 1 and it gives you an Aetherheart. Be wise in power surging your equipment, which requires an Aetherheart. You should not spend your Aetherhearts hastily. Rather, find or make a build first before power surging, so you do not waste your Aetherhearts unnecessarily. This is due to the fact that Aetherhearts can be difficult to make. There are some objects in different parts of the different islands where When you interact with them, you can unlock new craftable items, such as swords, helmets, and many more. Use your patrol keys, as patrol chests provide a lot of currency and materials, which will be useful to you. Remember to use your consumables such as tonics, pylons, and such, especially later in the game, as they provide huge benefits to your combat capabilities. There are 4 types of damage, namely core, wound, stagger, and part damage. All these are for different purposes, but the most important is core damage, and is able to be dealt by all weapons. It is basically damage to the main health of the boss. I know that there are probably a lot of things that were not mentioned in this video. I tried my best to recollect and mention everything I can remember. Do you have any other advice you can give? Feel free to mention them in the comments to help out our fellow players. Well, I guess that's it for now. See you again next time. Goodbye.